Hey everybody, it's Garrett Westfall again, coming back at you with another video game review. So yeah, let's get to it already. So I just got a new game recently, Tuesday actually. I've been anticipating this game for a while. It is Transformers Fall of Cybertron. If you can see it here without the glare. But yeah. This is the sequel to the Transformers War for Cybertron. And there's quite a bit of difference in this. So I beat the campaign, I played multiplayer, and I gotta say, I'm thoroughly impressed with it. I mean, if you're a Transformers fan, like just to start us off, if you're a Transformers fan, you need to pick this up. It's just utterly amazing. So let's go with the graphics. I thought the graphics were pretty damn good for this game. The vehicles and all the stuff about them look really nice. Optimus looked good. All the characters look good. The vehicle forms, the robot mode moved and shifted every 2 seconds. The only problem that I had with it is it had some textured lag issues where it wouldn't have all of its texture. It would just be like this globby mess for like 5 seconds. Sometimes it would, wouldn't catch up to itself. But that's my only nitpick issue with the graphics anyways. So, the storyline for this game is, I'm not gonna lie, I like it. The campaign's really good. Most people already have an issue with the campaign. I understand why. It's because in the first game they had 3-player co-op, which was really fun to do. But in this game they decided to scrap the co-op for the campaign entirely, so they can focus on a more unique gameplay experience. And I'm really glad they did that, because in the first game it was basically just straight up third-person shooter where you can transform to a vehicle. It had no unique gameplay really to it. That's basically, you can melee, you can shoot. It's basically all you can do and transform to a vehicle. There wasn't that much more uniqueness that you would expect from a Transformers game. This one actually did that, gave you unique gameplay for almost every character you play, because this campaign now is a combined campaign. Instead of having just Autobot campaign, Decepticon campaign, it's an entire unique campaign that ties every character together. So you play a different character through every chapter, and every character has a different gameplay feature to them. Let's start with the first mission. You play as Bumblebee. There's something special about him because the first mission is basically the tutorial mission. The only thing that mission's meant to do is to train you in how the game works, in all of its mechanics. Then, you get characters like Optimus. He gets to control a city-side transformer known as Metroplex. So that, you get to call out airstrikes whenever you want to. You see him in the background smashing set that you tell him to. It makes you feel like you're a leader. And you get to a character like Cliffjumper, who his mission is all about stealth. You can go invisible. You have to be invisible. You have to go around. You have to assassinate these certain guys because they can't, when they actually notice you, they go into a battle mode that can't be hurt. So you have to actually be, stealthy. Then Jazz has a grappling hook, which gives you really unique kind of gameplay because you always have to grapple to a new edge or down to get a better position on the enemy to take them out. Or you're surrounded by snipers that attach the walls. You got to go to a different ledge to get out of their way. Or pull down ledges that your friend needs help. Different stuff like that. And they have like Grimlock, who is a dinosaur. His gameplay is nothing like shooting. You don't shoot in that whatsoever. You're this sword and shield kind of guy. And then you have like Bruticus, who's a transform made of 5 different ones. You see what I'm getting at here? The gameplay, they sacrifice co-op so they can give you a more unique gameplay experience. You feel like you're playing something different. Like instead of just going, I'm shooting this, it's done. You actually have an objective. The story is really interesting. The characters are good, and it's a direct sequel. And basically, if you're a Transformers fan, it explains what happened on Cybertron before they came to Earth. So let's go to some gameplay. Gameplay for this game is, in its essence, a basic third-person shooter. There's not really a cover system. You more like get behind a wall and switch what arm your weapon's on to give a better position, and what they don't need a cover system basically. So it's like normal third-person shooter. You shoot with the one trigger, you aim with another, and then you have a melee. And now they added where you can instead of just dash, now you can actually hold it and you can sprint now, which is a nice feature. And then you can still transform into vehicle mode whenever you want to. And then use that to get around and get to better positions. It's very unique like that. And You know, you have special abilities that are completely different to every character and all that. It's, yeah, pretty damn good in my opinion. I like it. I like it a lot. So, what else is there? Let's go to the multiplayer. The multiplayer of this game has been advanced since the last one. War for Cybertron had a good multiplayer, but there's things that was missing that needed to have, like host migration. You know, like you're playing an online game. If it doesn't have host migration, it means if the host leaves the game, you have to go back to the menu and find a new game. You don't get to start off. You don't get to start the same game. You got to completely go get a new one. Now they added host migration, so you don't have to do that anymore, which is good. They added to where now there's still 4 classes, like the first one did, except now the classes are named differently, have different special abilities. Each class levels up, and the more you level up, the more experience and money you get to buy parts. Basically, now in this game, they allowed you the ability to create your own transformer. Basically, they give you every character in the game. Basically, just imagine them taking them apart and just throw their pieces everywhere, kind of like Legos, and then putting them back together. You choose a body piece, arms, shoulders, legs, and head. And depending on what vehicle, if you're a car, you can choose what wheels you want in vehicle mode. And if you're a tank, you choose what cannon. And if you're a if you're a sky guy, in the planes and jets and stuff, you can choose what wings they have. And you can choose the color, the voice, and all that. So you basically make your own transformer. So whatever your chest piece is, that describes what vehicle mode you have. And you can also change classes on the fly. So you have the Infiltrator, who is always a small type of like hot rod car, who is like more for stealth. He has only 300 health, so he's the weakest out of them all. He doesn't have as much health. He doesn't take as much damage as everybody else, but he's very quick, very agile. He's the fastest out of the entire group. So you can go invisible and just like assassinate people and stuff like that. Then you have the Destroyer, who's the most well-rounded. He has 400 health. He has an ability to put up a barrier, a big ass shield that people can walk through, but it still blocks bullets. And he has a thermal rocket launcher, which can lock on to anybody in vehicle mode. So he's very, well-rounded. Then you have the Soldier, I believe his name is. I don't remember for sure, so I apologize. He basically is a tank. Like, literally, his vehicle form is a tank always. And he's a heavy guy. He has 500 health, and has heavy weapons. So he's not very fast at all, but he makes up for it with sheer power. So when you have, basically you want to make sure you have a healer healing him so he stays alive taking down the enemy. And then speaking of healer, you have the Flyers. All the Flyers are healers. They can fly around. Their missiles can lock on in vehicle mode. Their missiles can lock on other vehicles. Yeah, it's really, I like it a lot. So then they have only 4 game types in the multiplayer. They have Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, Conquest, which is basically, capture the point. Get in this area and stay in it longer than any other person. Capture the territories, basically. And then they have one they took from Halo, basically. They have Headhunter. So when you kill an enemy, their spark falls out. And you collect the spark, and then you drop the spark into a specially designated point. And then there's 10 maps at launch. So the maps are really unique, very big and vast, but you can traverse them very easily since you are a vehicle. It works well. Then they have another mode called Escalation, which is basically a 4-player horde mode, basically. You fight waves of enemies as your favorite Transformers characters. I wish you could have used your own created character, but they gave you, depending on what map you are in, it depends on what character you can choose from the 4. But still really fun. You had to have teamwork and all that. It's really good. So yeah, I would have to give this game a solid 8.5. It's a nice, because again, it's not perfect. Like 8.5, I'd have to say. 8.5, maybe 9 at the most. Maybe. But for any Transformers fan, I suggest you pick this up. You owe it to yourself to pick up this game. You'll love it to death if you love Transformers. And if you're not a Transformers fan, you just like good third-person shooters, it's also a good game to pick up. It's an amazing third-person shooter. I mean, you can get into it even if you're not a Transformers fan. It's very unique like that. It's really good. I thought these people at High Moon, they've outdone themselves this time. Let's hope we make another one that's actually like remake of the actual story from the TV show. That'd be awesome. So yeah, that's been my review. So this is Garrett Westfall signing off.